Well, this is just a quick update on what I'm doing with the Honda 90. Now, I was over on Saturday and I got a lot of work done to the frame. I got it well cleaned up and smoothed out and rubbed it down until about 400 grit paper, so that's about ready for spraying now. I started preparing these panels, as you can see from the white dust there, but I realised that some of the bits were broken, and you can see that I'm repairing them here. The usual crack that you get in these side panels from over tightening, so you can see I got a bit of sellotape on that, and I've been using this component, or this product. It's called Plastex Repair. It's a very good product for fixing plastics if you're only fixing them on one side and you don't want to be seen. I have tried it on something that needed both sides fixed, and I found sometimes that it could be a little bit inadequate, not strong enough. But in this case, because it's only on the inside, you can afford to pile it up a bit, and you can make it stronger by putting it on in layers. So that's what I'm doing right now. There's a few wee bits. There's a crack there on the side of that. You can see that I'm just going to put a little bit of this on and strengthen them up a bit. There was actually a whole lump missing out of this mud guard, and you'll see that I taped it up and I put the plastics on it, and it's made like it's filled the gap. So whatever bit's left to be filled, I'll fill it with eyes upon, and I'll sand that down just similar to my headlight here. It is a very good product. I did try it on these leg shields for my City Express scooter, but the problem with it was that if you're trying to get it to stick both sides and then you need to sand it down flat, it just doesn't create enough strength. So I ended up having to plastic weld this anyway, so that's where I am with that one. But I just thought I'd show you about fixing these plastics and how good this product is at that. So naturally on old bikes, because the plastic's getting old and brittle, you're going to get a lot of this. If you're not used to fixing up bikes and stuff, this is the type of thing you're going to see all the time. I mean, I still have another little piece you can see here starting to split open. Still have that to fix. I'll probably tape that down or something and do it bit by bit. So I've that to do. The headlight I was working on the other day, there was like a whole corner going off it, and I've made that only with eyes upon. I didn't make that with the plastics, although you could do it with plastics. So I just have to now start whittling it down so that it's sort of the same shape there in the corner, but it does fit the headlight quite good the way it is. Hold on, I'll show you. This headlight's broke, by the way. I have a new one ordered for them. Nothing lasts forever, unfortunately, and sometimes. So you can see how well that's sort of fitting there. It's not too bad. I can push down this side bit a bit, and I mean, it fits okay. It'll probably sit in better if I just take a little bit of the inside of that. It'll probably sit in better, but happy enough with the way things are going. Bike's ready for spraying after I fix these panels and they're ready, so that's good. That's as far on as we are, and hopefully in the next week or so I can film a bit of the spraying for you, and we'll see how it turns out. Alright, thanks for now. Okay, so I'm gonna start fixing at this piece that has come away in the mudguard, as you can see from the side of it here. And sometimes this Plastex stuff doesn't tend to stick that well unless you've really scratched the surface very well. So I'm going to scratch it down with about an 80 grit paper, or maybe even sharper, maybe a 60 grit, because this is the edge that's not going to be seen, so I can go as heavy as I like on the scratching, and that's what I'm going to do to make sure that it gets a good grip. So I'll be back to you in a second when I've done that. So I have very little battery in my phone, so these are going to be very short clips just to show you how to do this. You'll see that I've sellotaped this up to keep the crack closed, and the reason for that is that the powder that comes in this is extremely fine, and it will find its way down through any type of crack at all, and you really need to tape it up well if you want this to work. You'll see that I've scratched this up well. I need to remove a bit of this tape here, just I put it down too far. I need that surface, so I've made a bit of a boo-boo there in places. I'll just get a knife and I'll cut it and I'll be back to you. Okay, so we're back, and you'll see that I've scraped the tape back a little bit from where the crack is, just to help me out. So that's how far we're on now. Now I'm going to start putting the powder on. Now, this stuff, this is what you get in the kit. You get like a bar for moulding things. You heat it up and you can mould, you can make parts out of this. You get this bottle of activator, which you pour onto the powder, and you get a little bottle and little test tube to do that job. Now, what I'm going to do is, you might say you don't get a lot for your money with this because it's quite expensive, but it is very good. And I'm just going to put the powder right over the crack, and I'm going to build it up over it as good as I can. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep the camera steady here, but it's not easy when you're working with one hand. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just filling it all in the whole way along, and I'm putting it way over where it needs to go, so I know it's going to give us a lot of strength when we're done. You can see I'm filling it right up and over that step there. I'm going to have to get some of this, some more of this now soon, but it has been very useful to me. I fixed a lot of stuff with this one kit, and this one kit it's quite expensive to buy. It's well worth it as far as I'm concerned. So we've got our powder on now, and I'll show you the solution now in a minute. So you get a little bit of this solution, you suck it up with this little sucker that you get in the box. Don't try putting it on with this because you'll waste a lot of it. You don't need that much. That's why you have such a fine tip on this. You turn it up and you just drip it on bit by bit. You see what I'm getting at? So you can see in a mat here, I'm just dripping it on bit by bit. And that's all it needs, just a drip. Soaks it all up, so it does, very quickly. Now, I'm not even going to clean this up because I have no need to. It's never going to be seen from the inside, so. But usually, if it was going to be seen, I'd try and flatten it out a bit. And then, just to make sure that I've got that nice and strong, I'll pour more powder on the top. Now, this is not something you have to do, it's just something I prefer to do. Just to make sure I've definitely got a good strong fix there. And I'll stitch it first because I don't have a lot of powder left. You see what I'm doing, just in areas. Now I'm just going to try and get whatever I've left the whole way along this. Hopefully. Yeah, got a wee bit now. And then we'll just stick a bit more on top. So you're putting it on in layers, basically, is what you're doing. I'm sorry the light's not so good here, but I'm working with what I have, and my phone's about to die, so this video is not going to be very long, and it might even die during the middle of making this video. But I just thought I'd show you how this works. I've fixed couple of parts for the CB125RS with this, and I was very happy with the results. So, and I fixed a few bits. I've run out of juice there. I'll just get the dropper and I'll get a wee bit on it, and it'll finish it off for me. There we go. That's everything now. That should be a good repair there now when it hardens up, hopefully. Now, one thing I do have to warn you about is if you're using this stuff is the fumes. There's a warning on the label for a reason, and usually I wouldn't pass much remarks. You know, it's just another one of those things that every company says. But this one, I have to promise you, you should listen, because I was in here using this one night, and this is a very small shed, and I had the window open as I usually do and the door, and I'm still in here using it. And if you use it for any length of time, like, you're going to be a sick person, because I was a very sick person when I came out of the shed, let me tell you. Headaches and a sickly feeling in my stomach, and I've used it a few times like that, and I've got that doing. So that's just to let you know, if you're going to be using it, be careful with it and use it in a well ventilated area. Or if you're going to use it in small bursts, and don't continue to use it for a good while in your shed with no ventilation. Small bit of advice for you, but there we go. That's that repair. That'll dry out and it should be good and solid. Here's some of the pieces I've done earlier. This one, you can see how it dries out now. It's kind of clear when it dries out, but it's strong. See, I'm pushing that. There's no crack there anymore. That's fixed the crack, and all I'll have to do is throw a bit of filler over the top of that and sand it down smooth, and that should be it. This one, I had to fix around the bolt because the little piece broke off around that area, and I fixed it, and you can see on the other side that that's 100% now. So that's all the wee bits I had to do. Was this mud guard. I can't lift this to show you because it's still wet. I showed you earlier on that it filled in that hole. There was a piece missing out of that, and seems to have done a good job there, so I'm happy with it. I'll sort this out now, and that'll be me for the night. So I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching.